game. SKOL Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run out the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S, SKOL Vikings, let's go.
I don't really know a lot about beavers, honestly.
Viking Nation, prepare to enter Valhalla with the most entertaining podcast of the Minnesota Vikings. And now, Odin's Den with A-Train and the Hammer.
Here's what it means to be a Viking. We're all Vikings, every single one of us. From the small town to the big city. The game unites us. We bundle up, then we huddle up. We come together, and we work hard, because that's what we're made of. It's a family affair, because we're one big family. Maybe it's the cold, around a fire. Nobody's a stranger. Everybody up here just seems to stick together. Or maybe it's because we know that when we come together, miracles can happen. So in this season, and all the others, let's team up. Come together. Go the extra mile. And put it all on the line. We'll give it everything we've got. Because we're all Vikings. And we're all in this together.
Oh, baby, we're back. I thought those inspiring words were needed in this current climate of bullshit.
Hey, Train, how the hell are you?
We're back so soon. It's only been 2 weeks, but it's the off season. What's going on? Hammer insisted on a pre-draft episode, so here we are, week of the draft, laying the lumber. He's going to lay some draft lumber.
Oh, you're bringing it too, right?
Just a couple news stories, that's all. Not a ton to talk about, but here we are, Odin's Den, episode 108 on the line. No prank calls on the line, unfortunately. I miss those. Should do another one of those. We should do another one of those. Maybe a Mitch Trubisky fan could call in and say, "What? My draft pick worked out great." Oh shit! I just gave away that I did the voice. Fuck. Fucking damn it. All right. Anyway, welcome to Odin's Den. I'm A-Train. That's the Hammer. Hope everybody's staying well and safe out there as usual. We don't need to talk about the crap and give it any attention, like as if it's a mass murder that doesn't deserve it. Yes, let's just dive into the Vikings news. That's why you're here, not for a fucking disease update 2020. So, yes, let's stick together like the intro said, and let's just get right into the news.
Back from battle with a Vikings update.
All right, here's some of the news stories that I've kind of saved over the last 2 weeks since the last episode. Kind of a sad one that happened not too long, I think, after the last episode. Tavares Jackson actually passed away in a car crash. A lot of Vikings fans have probably seen that circulating the news circuit by now. Good old T-Jack, number 7, with us there after he went to the Seahawks. He was on the team for a Super Bowl, wasn't he?
He was the backup, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he wasn't the starter. I'm sorry, R.I.P., but the dude wasn't an amazing starting quarterback. But that doesn't matter.
He was
that
a good
sucks.
backup.
Yeah, that sucks. Probably a good, like a better than usual backup. But good dude. Never heard anything bad about him. I mean, he was fine on our team. Obviously didn't take us to the promised land. There wasn't anything extra at quarterback, but you know, whatever. Car crashes random and they suck and they happen. So.
Well, there was that business with his wife, I think, where there was a gun or something. I mean, I don't know exactly
CTE
what was going on with all that, but at any rate, R.I.P. Tavares Jackson.
Correct.
Passed away at 36 years of age. That's far too young.
1 year younger than me, dude. What the fuck? That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, car accidents can happen at any time, I guess.
Anytime, man. Anytime. I had one when I was a kid, but all I did in the back seat was go forward really fast and hit my fucking lip on the front seat, and everybody was fine, thank God. But
I mean, shoot, if he had been a great starting QB, he'd still be playing for us. I mean, 36?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, wow.
Probably. We had a lot of QBs come and go. It's hard to find a good one, but yeah.
We lost Chris Dolman earlier this offseason, and now Tavares Jackson. Viking fans do need to come together right now more than ever.
That's true. That's very true. With all the turmoil, too. Diggs is apparently taking what people think is a cryptic shot at us after he left. He had some tweet talking about how they show love up front, but low key hating or something like that. People speculate that he's talking about a specific player, the organization as a whole, the front office, something like that. Who knows? Who gives a shit? I'm tired of that diva bullshit.
I'm not paying attention to that anymore.
Yeah, we really shouldn't be. It just comes across my news feed, so I unfortunately it just thrown in my face. But let's continue on the quarterback talk after T-Jack. Speaking of hard to find a good one in Kirk Cousins, I found this tweet the other day too, literally 2 days ago on April 18th. On Twitter, a guy said, Cousins is scrutinized for his road record. It's 7-8-1 over the past 2 seasons. And then he dug up other comparable, how he compares to other notable quarterbacks in the same time frame.
Like for road record?
With win-loss road record over the same time period. Aaron Rodgers is 7-9. Carson Wentz is 6-7. Matt Ryan 7-9. Dak Prescott 6-10. Baker Mayfield's 4-11. Cam Newton is 1-6. So, yeah, 7-8-1 doesn't look so bad now, does it?
Well, a 500 road record is pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that bad at all. But again, just everybody giving him shit. He's honestly the best quarterback we've had in a long time, and I really have no problem with him, and I hope he just needs more protection. Anyway, we go on about that all day. Let's see, other news story that I have here of the 5 big major news stories. Defensive tackle, these probably aren't even really worth mentioning, some of them, but defensive tackle Tom Johnson said that he's retiring. I thought that was notable. He was our
he was with us for a few years.
Yeah,
sure.
He was with us for all right. Tommy Johns, as I called him, he was all right. He was a serviceable D tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a problem with him or thought he sucked. He was out there getting some sacks and stuff. So,
well, coming to the Vikings really helped him too. He was a journeyman guy, never had done anything super notable, but getting to work with Andre Patterson and Zimmer and company.
And
that
the
helped him a
surrounding
ton.
people, the Daniil, Griff, they're like,
He was
we'll help you improve your game.
He was a
young
pretty
man.
reliable guy for us for a few years.
Oh yeah, completely. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember any negative thoughts about the guy, but he is apparently retiring. So have
he also
have fun.
Won a settlement against what was it, the Minnesota? There was some settlement where he won some money for police brutality. I think.
That faintly sounds familiar.
Yeah, I thought I heard that at some point too. So,
Well, I hope he won some money and he can coast off into the sunset and drink margaritas.
he's earned it.
Hell yeah. It's a rough game, man. Some other news I pulled here. Former Viking Storm Norton signed with the Chargers. That was April 11th, so technically that was after the last episode. Yes, that was after the last episode or right around it. So just
The
touch on
Chargers are
that.
still desperate for offensive linemen. Wow.
We didn't even really ever. I feel like we didn't even play him. Storm Norton.
He was a practice squad guy.
Yeah, he never really. I guess you could say, regardless of why, you could say he never truly got to go out there and play or start or even rotate for us to see what he could do. Maybe he wasn't good enough to even get to that point, obviously, I guess. But I feel like he never really had some playtime with us out there in the big lights.
And I think the Chargers have been trying to fix their offensive line even longer than us.
Yeah, they do have Philip Rivers.
No, they don't.
Oh, well, you know what I mean. They did have Philip Rivers. Hey, that's a new development. Screw you.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, he's with the Colts now?
Screw you, hippie.
All right.
All right, what else do I got? I think I only got one more thing here. And just another retirement announcement. Again, probably maybe not even noteworthy. Brad Childress, which I've expressed I'm not a big fan of him. I never have been, and I never will be. Announced that he's retiring. Yeah.
Most Viking fans aren't.
Good. I'm glad I'm not in the minority. I feel like I'm in the minority on a decent amount of other opinions. I'm glad I'm not in the minority on that one.
Who do you think worst coach, Brad Childress or Mike McCarthy?
Brad Childress.
That's a tough one.
I didn't even have to think about it.
Really?
Brad Childress never coached a good quarterback. You could say
Childress coached Favre when he was here that one year. He handpicked Tavares Jackson.
Proof is in the pudding.
Well, but Mike McCarthy thought Alex Smith
Didn't
was
want
better than Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
I mean, Alex Smith is better than most of our last 5 quarterbacks, but I digress. I don't know, man. You can say all you want about it. I don't like McCarthy. I'm not defending him, but McCarthy had a long run with the Packers. He went to multiple Super Bowls.
He went to
won
one.
multiple went to and won one Super Bowl.
That was Aaron Rodgers that won it, though.
Well, true.
If Brad Childress would have won the Super Bowl that year in 2009, I mean, none of us would have thought it was because of Childress either.
Well,
They
now we're
didn't
just
win
opening
because
up
of
a
McCarthy.
whole vacuum of debate to being like, well, just because Brad Johnson won with the Bucs, like, is that head coach even good, or was it all Brad Johnson, who I still think sucks fucking ass? But
Oh, he didn't suck.
he was a backup at best, bitch.
He was a starting QB, you.
fucking mediocre one, bro.
No.
Fucking barely like an above average quarterback. He wasn't a superstar.
Well, okay,
Get
he
the
wasn't a
fuck
top
outta
5
here.
guy.
No doubt.
You thought you were smart? What are you, stupid?
Well, we
Get
can
outta
table
here.
this discussion for
I'll
later.
fucking ram your head into it.
Okay.
Oh,
I still have right on my side.
Yeah, well, I don't like the way you ask questions.
God damn it, I like the way you do business.
I just never understood your hate for Brad Johnson. Ugh.
Brad Johnson?
Brad Johnson was
I'm
a
jealous.
good starting QB.
Because I'm mad. Why wouldn't I be mad?
With all
He's
that
our
good-
backup quarterback, and he goes to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Get the fuck out of here. Who gives a shit? And wins a Super Bowl? Our shit, our leftover trash,
Oh,
goes to a stupid team and wins a Super Bowl. I couldn't think of a more Yeah, guess what? That team was good, not Brad. They had like Warren Sapp. They had
They had a good team
Keyshawn
around them.
Johnson.
Yeah.
That was such a good team, and wasn't it fucking what's his name as the head coach?
John Gruden.
Gruden is the coach. Get the fuck out of here.
Although
Brad
Tony
Johnson's
Dungy
worth of shit.
Tony Dungy probably had a little more to do with it.
Yeah, him too. He's
it
a
was
great
the first
football
year
mind.
Gruden had inherited that team, and
Still though,
yeah,
I think Brad Johnson is the least important part of that equation. Forever
Okay,
and
I'll
ever, amen.
disagree with that, but whatever. Let's move on.
Anyway, Brad Childress is retiring. Fuck Brad Childress. Good night.
Okay.
All right. I think that was all of my news stories. Let me double check here. Yeah, I think that was it. Like I said, nothing real great, not a ton of news. I don't even think there were any roster moves or apparently we were getting closer in contract negotiations with Ant-Man. I did see that report that they were coming close, which is thank God. Thank God he's the best safety in the league. Please, please, please. If
Yeah, we weren't able to trade him, so now we've revisited trying to extend him.
which is a little disappointing. I wish that wasn't the second option of the options, but whatever. I'll take what I can get. I just want him to stick around. I don't want to see another good player leave after so many other good players have left this year.
Well, if we can get a first-round pick for Anthony Harris, I would take it.
But that first-round pick might not even be a first-round pick. It might be downtraded. And even
That's
if it is a
true.
first-round pick, they might suck. I'd rather take the best safety in the league right now. Are you crazy? It's called security.
You
At
do
the
make good points.
position. Fuck, man.
Well, but I would also rather keep Anthony Harris.
Yeah, you probably wanted to draft Beavers, too.
I don't really know a whole lot about Beavers, honestly.
No.
You probably loved Willie Beavers, didn't you?
I did not. I was
Jesus.
firmly on record as hating that draft pick when we made it.
You don't want Ant-Man, and you're about to give us the rundown on the draft?
Oh, would you?
Ooh. Better bring in Ronster for the news.
Putting words in my mouth over here.
Yikes.
Good Lord.
Yikes. The pre-draft episode.
I'd rather you just ram my head into a table.
All right. Well, I don't have any draft title segment, but if that's all for the news and all that jazz, you can go ahead and yap your flapper. About
Yeah,
the draft.
pre-draft time, baby.
I don't know shit about the draft picks or the draft prospects.
Okay, how much college football have you watched this past season? Combined, like 5 minutes or
0?
really, literally 0 minutes?
I probably saw like a YouTube video about the Gophers going 8-0.
Okay. Well, hold on.
That's about it.
Well, after we stopped recording our episode a couple weeks ago, I remember I did show you a highlight reel of Antoine Winfield Jr. So
Yeah, we watched a couple highlight reels. We watched that other wide receiver too. I don't even remember his name.
Oh, I showed you some highlights of Jalen Rager from
Rager,
TCU.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's about the most I've seen of college football.
Wow. Okay.
You know, I have better things to do. I prefer to do other things with my time. I should rephrase that. That's rude.
Well, at the very least, do you want to join me on the Purple Pain forums for the first round of the draft on Thursday?
If we're watching together, yeah.
Hey, let's do it.
Whether it's your place, maybe we could go somewhere else. Yeah. I got a laptop. You got a laptop. Of course, we can be live on Purple Pains. I don't know how exciting I'm going to be knowing nothing about the stuff. But yeah, I'll be on there. I'm not going to refuse to do that. Of course, I'll be a part of the Purple Pain Forum. Speaking of which, I apologize. We're at the 16-minute mark, and we haven't mentioned purplepainforums.com. Fuck. Shit, piss.
Yeah, anyone that hasn't joined the Purple Pain forums should.
Get your head out of your butt.
I mean, shoot, just earlier today, there was in the members-only thread, like they posted the members-only thread a link to the Dane Brugger's, the guy that writes for The Athletic, the 2020 draft guide. Just complete breakdowns of, like 300 different college players, just detailed.
And you were like, you're just reading that all day today, were you?
Yeah. I'm going to be reading more of it in the coming days, but the point is, I mean, the link and the password that you need to, like, all that good stuff.
You got to be logged in as a member.
You got to be logged in as a member to see
Members
it because
only.
it's in the members only thread.
You have to be wearing your members only jacket.
Yeah,
to
and
get
gold
in.
chain. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that if you're just lurking. So
Don't be a fucking creep in the bushes.
well, okay. To that I would say go ahead and lurk and at least give purplepainforums.com a look. Check them out at least. But if you want the really good stuff, you might need to become a member, which is free, by the way.
What? It's what? I thought it was like $5.99.
It's free. You just got to do a and look.
Just
If
gotta
I can
sell your
figure it
soul,
out,
give a
anyone
blood
can.
sample to Funky Town, and there you go.
So, long story short, join purplepainforums.com. They got a ton of great stuff. They got all sorts of breakdowns. They got, they got threads on players that fit the Vikings' previous draft tendencies, just going by measurables. And
You can do all the analysis you want, and Ricky Boy still might throw you a slurve.
That could be. But
it's probably semi-predictable at this point.
it's good for a guy like you, like a guy that doesn't watch college. Well, no, but I mean a guy that doesn't watch college football.
Yeah.
You can go on Purple Pain and still get an idea of
who we think we're going to take. Who I think we're gonna
players that
take.
Rick Spielman might like.
Right.
So there you go.
We should know Ricky Boy and Zimmer's draft tendencies by this point.
I feel like we do.
Oh, he let Zimmer have his way with his defensive toys, so let's focus on that offense.
Well, last year we did.
All right. All right, well, go ahead and do whatever you're going to do over there. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, you don't have to just sit there and be a complete bump on a log, but
I can play drops and interrupt your speech.
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
All right.
So I'll take the lead here, I suppose. How do we
Yes.
want to do this? Do we want to go offense and work our way to defense, maybe?
Whatever
start
you
with-
think is best. Use that thing between your ears that's got more than air, barely.
Well, okay, I'm just not normally a play-by-play guy. Well, we'll start with quarterbacks.
Well, you sure as fuck wouldn't be a color commentator.
Well, I'd be more of that than...
You'd be the play-by-play. You'd be like, well, he's a shot. You'd be the guy going shotgun formation, snaps back to pass. You'd be the play-by-play.
I think you would be.
I'd be cracking. I thought the colors, the jokes, the entertainment.
Well, color guy is the analysis after the play. And
Oh yeah, then that's your that's you. My bad. So you'd be Bursich and I'd be PA.
I would say so. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sparkling personalities on both.
Well, you're much more comfortable in the Paul Allen role than I am.
I guess.
But
Yeah,
I
can see
digress.
that. I still think we should find like a 1990s Vikings game on like YouTube and do our hey, that could be the Patreon content. That me and you sit and watch an old Vikes game and we got the mics hot and we're doing our version of what we'd see on the TV commentators for the whole game. And then we put that game up. So Vikes fans could not only watch an old game that's free and out there anyway, but then they could hear us if they happen to like our nasally drone. They could hear us sit and shoot the shit, crack jokes, and do analysis our way of the game. That sounds like a fun idea. Just see how it goes.
That is a very interesting thought, and I will file that away for.
I'm sure there's other people
future-
doing it, and they're probably boring as fuck, to be honest.
Well, I
We
mean,
could lay the lumber.
a lot of people think I'm boring too. But moving on.
Yeah, you are.
At quarterbacks. So we'll start with quarterbacks. Best quarterback in the draft, probably Joe Burrow from LSU. The Vikings most likely aren't going to draft a quarterback anyway. But if Jalen Hurts was still there in the second or third round, it would be great to take him. Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma.
Did we didn't take a quarterback last year at all?
Oh, the Vikings haven't drafted a quarterback since Teddy Bridgewater.
Since Teddy, okay.
In 2014.
Okay, gotcha.
It's all just been undrafted
right.
guys and guys we poached from other teams.
Sean Mannion, Private Eye.
Yeah, free agents. Yeah, Sean Mannion.
Kirk Cousins, Private Eye.
Yeah, sure.
Private Guy.
I think I agree that with Joe Burrow being the first quarterback taken, which it looks like he probably will be.
We don't care.
He had one of the most historic seasons from a college quarterback this past year. He was one of, I forget exactly how many guys have done it, but he won the Heisman, won the national title, and like the guy that did all those things in the same season. It's very impressive.
Yeah. And then he's going to just flop in the NFL.
Well,
people have done great things in college and then just in the NFL.
That's true. I think in his case it would be more because it's the Bengals taking him than because the Bengals are going to take him number 1 overall.
Have fun.
And the Bengals are dysfunctional. I'll call them dysfunctional.
Wet. I believe the term is wet garbage.
I'll agree to that. Yeah, I mean, I could see Joe Burrow playing well, but having nothing around him, so not winning any games anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama scares me just because of the medical. I would actually rather have Jalen Hurts than Tua, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shoot, Jalen Hurts was just tearing it up at the combine. And, I mean, watching him play, he seems like a gamer. Yeah, he gets up for game day.
Like Sloter, a gamer.
Well, yeah.
Diving into the end zone because he wants to win the fucking game at the last second.
Yeah, Sloter, he had some of that quality to him in the preseason. I'd say so, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, besides Burrow, I think Jalen Hurts is probably my favorite quarterback. There are a couple guys I just don't get what the big deal is.
So you think we're going to take a quarterback?
I don't think we will take a quarterback.
Okay.
I think we should if the right value was there.
It's like maybe with our 7 rounders, maybe take one a little later, get some value. Or
if Jalen Hurts was still there in the second round or third round, I'd say take him then.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of high though. We got other spots to fill, man. We need corners like a motherfucker. We need O-linemen. We need a wide receiver, dude.
That's true. This is a very deep draft for wide receiver and corner.
True. Okay.
You can get,
and we're best available. We normally are best available too.
Well, it's position scarcity is a lot of this.
Yeah.
And Rick Spielman, he's a guy that understands this concept, the concept of position scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
Where
well, I hope so.
He's mentioned it in interviews. Where,
Good.
I mean, after the 2017 draft, I remember him saying in the 7th round he took Elijah Lee because he was a linebacker. Because on his draft board in the 7th round, he had like 7 or 8 tight ends still there that were all graded pretty similarly.
Okay.
But Elijah Lee was the last linebacker on the board. So he figured, well, we need to draft Elijah Lee. And as long as we get one of those tight ends as an undrafted free agent, then we're good. So position scarcity would dictate you maybe need to take a quarterback earlier. So,
Okay.
but there are guys like Justin Herbert from Oregon and Jordan Love. Those two guys, I don't get what the big deal is with them. They're projected, quote unquote, to go first round. I don't get it. I think they'll both be busts, personally.
Well,
That's just me.
You got to admit, every year about out of the top 5 QBs that are always taken, even those top 3 that are always the ones people are clamoring and switching spots for, maybe 1, 2, like 2 of the top, like 1 or 2 of the top 5 actually are like a talent in the NFL.
When quarterbacks get taken in the first round, it probably is about a 50-50 shot.
50-50. That about, like, if you look at
rate.
stats, I bet that's about right.
The 1998 draft is in a microcosm. Number 1 overall pick, Peyton Manning. Number 2 overall pick, Ryan Leaf. So there you go.
My favorite quarterback, Ryan Lee.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's my boy right there.
Oh, another guy I like is Jacob Fromm from Georgia. If we could get him in the 3rd round, that would be a nice value pick, in my opinion. I remember in the national title game, he got to the national title game as a freshman a few years back when it was Alabama versus Georgia. I remember hearing the announcers during that game saying that like Jake Fromm, I guess, has never felt uncomfortable in his life, like once. And I mean, maybe that was just BS. But if that's true, like if this guy is
on the field,
like, no, in life, just in his entire life, like they said, he has never, like literally, never felt uncomfortable.
Well, then I feel like he's
Ever.
not really trying.
Well, if that's true, like if
Yeah.
this guy is just ice water in the veins 24/7,
Bring him on board.
this guy could be a huge clutch,
Right.
4th quarter, just never uncomfortable.
just a Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Be down by 20 at the halftime of the Super Bowl and just come back and win. Just poised, win. Don't give a shit.
He's
Just
not
get it
expected
done.
to go super early because he isn't the tallest guy in the world, doesn't have the
sounds familiar.
strongest arm in the world.
Sounds
yeah.
familiar. Tom Brady.
That sounds like Tom Brady, right?
Tom Brady was a weak bitch.
If
He was a flappy little bitch when he got drafted, boy.
Yes, thank you.
He was.
Yeah, my apologies to Tom Brady.
He's not.
Yeah, he doesn't care about us.
No.
Jacob Fromm, if he can,
Fram oil filters, I'll call him.
well, if he gets with the right team and everything, he could end up being a really good QB.
Let's take him.
Well, maybe we will. He would fit with our system, I think.
What round would we take him in?
Probably the 3rd round.
Number 89.
Or
number 105.
Probably
We got two.
89.
Okay. All right.
That's where I'm guessing we would have to take him in order to get him. I mean, a team could always surprise you. Who knows? The Patriots might take him in the 2nd round.
It will be interesting to see what they do
They're
Without their
expected
little-
to take a QB.
without their little Tommy boy.
Yeah, they don't have a QB right now, so
Let's grab somebody and put him in right away and hope for the best. Have fun with that, dude.
So I've heard a lot of Viking fans kind of thinking at pick number 22 in the 1st round, we could end up getting a really nice collection of picks to trade down. Like if there's another team that wants to get in front of the Patriots.
Our first
to get
two
a
picks are so
quarterback.
close together, and that makes a big difference. But we got a 22 and a 25. That's really close. It's not like we're a 10 in them. What does it go to 100 or whatever? It's not like we're a 10 and well, no, not 100, but it's not like we're a what is it? What does the first round go to?
32.
32. It's not like we're like a 6 and a 32. I mean, it's a 22 and a 25. And yes, that could make a big difference if you're pining for a specific person.
That'll be
that you want
Spielman
to
time.
stick
Well,
around, but-
it has more to do with the Patriots picking right behind us.
Okay.
Because the Patriots are picking at 23.
Gotcha.
So there are some people thinking like the Chargers or like a team that needs a quarterback that isn't picking in the top 10 this year.
Mm-hmm.
They might say, hey, we need to trade up and get in front of the Patriots, being worried the Patriots will take the QB they want.
Right.
So maybe they offer us their first round pick next year. Nice collection of picks to trade down.
We just got to wait for the Patriots, and then
you'll get to see what the Vikings do
you
want to.
Then you get to see what the Vikings do.
Yeah, of all teams you could be a fan of, I don't know how you could be bored with the draft if you're a Viking fan. Rick Spielman trades more than any other
That's true.
GM.
That's true. I got to admit, when I'm sitting there going, all right, how much longer? And then all of a sudden, dee. Up next, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm like, oh shit! Like, yes, that's exciting, but that doesn't happen often. When I'm going to sit there watching this for 4 hours and I watch all these guys I don't know get taken by all the teams that I don't give a shit about because I just like the Vikings because I'm not a bandwagon bitch. It's everything else is boring. I want to see what we do, and I don't care what the Browns do, what the Patriots do. Yes, it affects us in a way because we can't take them if somebody else takes them, but I want to see what we do.
That's always what I'll remember the most about the Dalvin Cook.
Then you get to see what the Vikings
Because we were watching that
I was
draft.
bored as fuck. And
You
then
were so bored. Well, yeah, you were so bored, and you said something about, oh, God, this is so, like, how could anyone watch this? And literally 5 seconds after you said that, the Vikings traded up and took Dalvin Cook. And I was sarcastically just saying, holy shit, this is amazing.
Well,
just
it
to
really
rub it
was
in.
amazing. No, well, it really was amazing, so you weren't wrong.
Yeah.
Sarcasm all you want. You weren't wrong.
Oh, I believe I will.
All right.
I
Who
think
else
that's
we gonna
good for
take?
QBs.
Who else are we going to take?
Well,
Let's focus on positions we need, maybe.
Okay, so
Or you think we're going to be taking earlier, or...
Well, I think we're done with quarterbacks then. 'Cause, aside from just a couple of guys, I don't see the Vikings taking a QB.
I mean, we don't got to break down every top 5 guy in every position, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
But who do you think we're going to take, and what position do you think we're going to take them in?
We'll move on from quarterback. We can probably skip running back, right?
Oh, are we going to we're going to take somebody. I feel like we take somebody every year, even if it's some
For
practice
running back?
squad trash. I don't know.
Oh, we have 4 running backs right now.
True, very true.
I don't know. I guess for running backs, I'll just say a couple quick things. I think Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the draft this year.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan Taylor, the running back with Wisconsin, as much as I hate saying it. Yeah, I hate Wisconsin as much as anyone.
Jeez.
But God, everyone thinks DeAndre Swift with Georgia is better. I think Jonathan Taylor's the best running back.
With a name like Swift, he's got to be fast.
He actually is pretty fast.
Perfect.
Which works.
Fitting name.
Now, Jonathan Taylor, he's a specimen. I mean, he ran a 4.39 40 at the combine, and he's like, 5'10", 5'11", 225, something like that. I mean, he's built like a truck,
Brick
and he
shithouse?
runs fast. Yeah, he's built like a brick shithouse, and he's fast. And God, he ran all over the Gophers every time we played him. Good Lord.
Damn.
I think Jonathan Taylor's best running back in the draft.
All right.
I'm having trouble offhand thinking of any late round.
Do we have a running back on the practice squad right now?
Well,
Forgive me for not knowing every player on our practice squad.
Well, I mean, there are guys for reserve futures contracts, I guess. I mean, there technically isn't a practice squad at the moment because we just signed guys to reserve future contracts, and we're just building a 90-man for the...
Oh, true. Okay, so a better phrasing of that maybe would have been, was there one last season? Was there a running back?
Yeah, well, there was that guy that had played for, Oregon in college. I'm going to see if I can pull his name up quick. I'm blanking on his name.
I think I remember what you're talking about, actually. Yeah. Oh,
See
you
if
can
he's
hear Hammer
still-
process his brain over there. Oh.
I'm having trouble pulling it up at the moment, but
Well, regardless, we don't really need a running back.
probably won't
We might
draft
squeeze one out at the end.
Probably won't draft one.
Yeah.
If we do, it would be 7th round. And
Okay.
it would be pretty cool if we could maybe get Rod Smith in our preseason, the Gopher running back. That would be really nifty. I wouldn't expect him to make the team, but it would be super cool just to give him a training camp and a preseason in a Viking uniform.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nifty.
Hell yeah.
No, get more into the meat of this. We got the wide receivers.
Oh, we were just on the tough skin, huh? We're on the skin of the potatoes.
So many awesome wide receivers this year.
You said it's deep, right?
It's the deepest wide receiver draft that I can remember. I think the best wide receiver in this draft is Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. The top couple guys, the Vikings are probably not going to have a chance at.
I hope we get Judy, and I hope he's a starter right away, and I'll name my fantasy team Big Booty Judy.
Oh, I like it.
Or just something with Judy.
Well, Jerry Jeudy would be an instant starter for us. If we took him, we would have to probably take him. We'd probably have to trade up to get him. But
yeah,
if somehow he ends up as a Viking, he would instantly be, the starter with Adam Thielen. I mean, the guy is he's best route runner in the draft, I think. He's above average speed, and he knows how to play. I mean,
sounds like Diggs, kind of.
He's just a player. There's some Diggs-like qualities to him, yeah. He ran a 4.45 at the 40. It's pretty solid.
Perfect. We do need to fill Diggs' shoes.
Well, we do need to draft a receiver at some point, not necessarily first round, but
I feel like that's a position we're almost grabbing somebody every year. When's the last time we didn't draft a wide receiver?
For the most part, yeah. Lately, it's been mostly mid to late rounds.
Right.
Spielman
They might not do much. They might not go anywhere. They might just hit the practice squad. They might just fade away like Mobo. But I feel like we're always taking one.
Well, Spielman might have got a little gun shy on the first round receiver after Laquan Treadwell too.
But that was what, 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. He's gone now. So.
The other big receivers, I mean, there's C.D. Lamb from Oklahoma. But that guy can break a tackle. You want a guy that can break tackles after the catch, he's your guy. He's not the most polished route runner in the world.
Spreading that Crisco grease everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
There are a lot of people that think C.D. Lamb has the highest ceiling in this draft.
He has a great name, by the way.
Like he has the most potential, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to choose, I would rather take Jeudy. He's a lot safer pick. And that other receiver from Alabama, that Henry Ruggs III, I have no feel for what kind of player he'll be in the NFL. He could be Tyreek Hill and he could be Darius Hayward-Bay. If
nothing wrong with Hayward-Bay.
He was not a good receiver. If there's anybody
journeyman side guy.
He was a first-round pick with the Raiders back in the day. Super fast guy.
A lot of all the potential in the world and just nothing.
Didn't translate. Yeah, like John Ross with the Bengals, another guy. It's just like he could be Tyreek Hill or John Ross or anything in between. I've seen him play plenty, and I have no earthly idea if his skill set will translate to the NFL or not. Mm-hmm. If anybody's listening to this, I mean, maybe hit Odin's Den's Twitter up and tell us what you think of Henry Ruggs III.
Yeah, or Purple Pain or Facebook.
Because I have no idea.
Website itself, whatever. Just educate Hammer because he sounds real dumb.
Yes, I do. Plenty of good receivers in the Big Ten alone, let alone everywhere else.
Yep.
I mean, one guy that isn't getting talked about a ton is KJ Hill from Ohio State. I mean, he's Ohio State's all-time leading receiver, but he's projected to be, a fifth-round pick?
Is Ohio State not a very big coveted school?
Ohio State is possibly the most prestigious football program in the country.
So why is he not being talked about?
Well, he ran a 4.6 40 at the combine. Like, he isn't the biggest guy in the world. He isn't the fastest guy in the world. So he's not the sexy receiver to talk about.
Has he been doing drugs?
Not that I know of.
You know, it is 420 today, by the way. So let's just appease everybody out there with a couple of these.
Smoke weed every day.
There you go.
All right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But KJ
Gotta
Hill,
squeeze it in somewhere.
Along with Jerry Jeudy, best route runners in the draft this year.
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, and
Double J.
KJ Hill.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd rather have KJ Hill than KJ Hamler. KJ Hamler is that receiver for Penn State.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, that guy just has bricks for hands. God, he drops everything.
Oofta. Thank you.
He's fast. He was the punt returner for Penn State, and he's super fast, but God, he drops everything.
You could fix that. Just think of Clifford Franklin and the Replacements when he He put that sticky stuff on his hand.
That's what Jerry Rice did. Stick 'em.
Probably Stephon Diggs in that commercial too.
Yeah. Well, and how about Tyler Johnson, the Gopher?
Yes, yeah.
Minnesota Gophers, Tyler
right.
Johnson.
That'd be a cool pick.
Everybody's thinking he might get drafted 5th round.
That'd be cool.
If this was any other draft, he'd get drafted in the 2nd round. The guy's a great receiver.
That'd be kind of cool to squeak him in as kind of that little mid to late value guy.
Oh, I'd love seeing Tyler Johnson in a Viking uniform.
Hell yeah. I think he does too. Isn't he the big Vikes fan from the area?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we mentioned last time he played high school ball at Minneapolis North.
Nice.
So
Cool.
Yeah, he had in the Outback Bowl when we played Auburn. I mean, Tyler Johnson had 12 catches for 204 yards and 2 touchdowns, I believe. I mean, God, the guy that was lined up on him, the Auburn guy on the game-clinching touchdown, the deep ball, he was 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and Tyler Johnson still blew by him.
Damn.
So I don't know how fast Tyler Johnson is. He didn't run at the combine.
Fucking Thielen Jr. over there.
But he plays fast.
yeah.
I mean,
like
who knows how fast his 40 is, but he plays
like it.
fast.
I like
So,
it.
Like Tyler Johnson. If you look outside the Big Ten, I mean, Jalen Rager's a guy I like a lot.
Yep.
that I was
you
telling
showed me
you
those
about.
highlights. Yep.
The TCU guy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of punt returners in this draft, too.
Interesting.
That's kind of a low-key need for the Vikings.
Yeah, we kind of need one, but it's not.
Because Sherrills is done, probably.
Yeah.
But
Well, isn't Hughes going to kind of... Or no, Hughes wasn't doing too hot at that.
we gave him a shot, and he wasn't all that.
Yeah.
All that
so that's kind of
reliable.
a need for sure. Yeah.
That is a low-key need for us, but
Yep.
it seems like just about every corner, safety, and wide receiver in this draft is also a returner.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Utility, man. Utility.
So I like Jalen Rager a lot. If we
Mm-hmm.
took him in the 2nd round, I would love that pick.
Also compared to Diggs a little bit. right?
He's
He
the
was.
guy that reminds me the most of Diggs
Okay.
in this draft is Jalen Rager.
All right.
I'm trying to think here. Clemson has a guy that's pretty good, that T. Higgins. He's another guy that doesn't wow you with the measurables, but he makes tough catches, contested catches, and seems like he's a good player. He's more of a football player than an athlete.
Gotcha.
So I wouldn't mind taking T. Higgins, 2nd round, 3rd round, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are some guys I don't know a ton about, like Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. I never did catch an Arizona State game. I think he's projected as a 2nd rounder. Don't know much about him. One receiver I'm not super high on is Laviska Shenault Jr., guy that played for Carolina.
Don't even ask me to say that.
Laviska Shenault. All right, say it one time. Laviska Shenault.
Laviscus Chenault. Sounds like a Jewish dish you'd
Laviska
order on a
Shenault.
flight. I'll have the Laviscus Chenault.
Yeah, the guy that played
Kosher.
for Colorado. I mean, if you want to see a highlight reel that makes me nervous,
Laviscus.
Laviska Shenault, his highlight reel makes me nervous. Everything was all just go routes and the Wildcat.
I'm nervous.
Laviska Shenault, I bet he'll probably remind a lot of Viking fans of Cordero Patterson.
Yeah,
Or
that's all you need to
he's-
say for me, and I'm like, pass.
He's not a good route runner.
pass.
He's big and he's fast,
the Flash.
but you need to pretty much get him the ball.
pass.
He isn't going to be able to beat anyone with route running. Colorado ran the Wildcat with him a lot. So, I mean, yeah, he would just take direct snaps and run it and stuff. That's not going to work at the next level. So I think Laviska Shenault's
Makes
going to
sense.
be a bust.
All right.
He's projected to go 2nd round, around that area.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if there's any other notable wide receivers. I never really got the big deal with Donovan Peoples-Jones either, that receiver for Michigan.
Peoples.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think he's probably going to be a bust also. I never got the big deal with him. Although I don't think he's expected to get drafted super high either.
Late round.
Yeah, mid to late rounds. Justin Jefferson with LSU's pretty good. He'd probably just be a slot guy. Maybe
All right.
not a big Viking fit, because Adam Thielen's going to be in the slot more often than most, I think, for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Vikings will probably be looking for more of an outside receiver.
Right.
If you have a lot of faith in the Vikings coaching, maybe Denzel Mims would be worth a shot. Because Denzel Mims was a wide receiver for Baylor. He's another one of those guys that's pretty tall and fast, like he's an athlete, but he needs coaching.
A lot of coaching.
If he can get coaching, he could be like a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Nice.
It
I'd
depends
be fine
on
with
if-
that late round.
I don't know. Well, he's projected to be another like late first round, early second round guy.
I gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if I trust our wide receiver coaching enough to. I trust our defensive coaching.
Shots fired. Ooh.
Well, we'll
Shots
put it this
fired by
way: I
a
trust
hammer.
our defensive coaching more than the other side of the ball.
I don't think anybody would really argue with that.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
Because the middle rounds this year, that's kind of when we'll probably be looking for the athletic defensive end, the edge rusher, the Daniil Hunter third round pick. We'll probably be doing that and just trusting Patterson to coach him, and I'll be perfectly fine with it.
Right.
Wow, that was a lot of receivers.
The legend, Andre Patterson.
That was a lot of receivers. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I maybe forgot about.
The drone
briefly.
is droning over here.
Yeah.
I'm almost falling asleep, I'll tell you what. Man, I want to take a nap, bro.
Shoot. Yeah, I suppose if you don't watch college games, you won't care as much.
Want to take a siesta.
Well, we can move on from wide receivers. We can probably skip tight ends. I don't think we're going to be
Probably not going to take one.
probably. Well, I mean, we might take one late rounds.
Just kind of a side thought.
Yeah, we probably won't be drafting a tight end in the first 4 or 5 rounds this year.
I hope not.
So we'll move on from tight ends. Offensive linemen. Here we
yes,
go.
please.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, offensive lineman, that discussion begins and ends with Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. I think we might have mentioned him a couple weeks ago. Tristan Wirfs, I think, is the best offensive lineman in the draft this year. He was the right tackle at Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could take him and pretty much plug him in at any spot except for center, and he would be an instant day one starter. He's going to make some Pro Bowls, I think. He's the guy I would want. Maybe there's a slight chance he falls to us at 22. It's a long shot, but depending on how the draft plays out, depending on what positions get taken early, and depending on how some of the other teams value, like who they have as their best O-lineman, it actually, there is an outside chance Wirfs might still be there at 22.
And you think we would take him?
I think so. I know I would run to the podium and take him if it was me.
I got it.
I think he probably would get taken by Spielman if he was still there at 22. I can't 100% guarantee that because that might depend on what other players at other positions are still there. But Tristan Wirfs is my favorite guy. There are other guys that are worth a first round pick, like Andrew Thomas from Georgia. Jedrick Wills from Alabama. Jedrick Wills from Alabama is probably the second best O-lineman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The right tackle from Alabama. He's awesome player. I'm a little worried about Mekhi Becton. I don't know, he's projected as a first rounder. For one thing, he weighs a ton. Like, he's 360 pounds. And he is built well for his size, but there still could be some long-term health-related worries with him. I mean, remember Eddie Lacy?
I do.
He had chronic ankle issues because he weighed so much, and he was putting so much stress on his ankles. It was just
Wish
a
I
medical
had your Lacy
thing.
drop ready.
Yeah.
Can they make a hole big enough for Eddie Lacy to fit?
Yeah, well, he played his rookie contract out with the Packers, and then he was with Seattle for, 1 year, and he was out of the league?
Yep.
I mean, I would have the same worry about Mekhi Becton. Plus he also failed a drug test at the combine, so that's.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I think you told me about that a couple days ago. Actually,
I did. What was he doing?
Smoke weed every day.
Oh,
I don't know if it was released, like what it was flagged for, but yeah, he had a drug test that was red flagged, quote unquote, by the NFL. So I think teams have been talking to him about it, FaceTiming or Twittering or Skyping
Zoom.
or whatever.
It's Zoom now or whatever.
Zoom.
Everybody's on
Oh
the
yeah, what is Zoom anyway?
It's just another thing like Skype that just took over when everybody's quarantined.
Okay,
Just
so
another
Skype
program
is,
to do like a video conference.
So Skype is old news.
It's always sucked.
FaceTime is old news.
It's just an Apple thing.
Okay, and it's Zoom now.
Zoom is like anybody can just put it on their PC and everybody can do a video conference of a ton of people, and I'm pretty sure it's free. That's why it just blew up.
All right.
Doing a multiple person video conference on Skype, I don't believe is free when you want a bunch of people or any video conferencing at all. I'm not sure. I don't do much video conferencing. All I know is that I haven't liked Skype for 10 years.
Well, either way, I don't think I would use a first-round pick on Mekhi Becton, the guy from Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say if a team will. I don't think I would.
He's probably going to fall.
He might. Yeah, he might fall because of that. I don't know much about Josh Jones. I think Josh Jones from Houston he's widely considered like maybe the fifth best tackle. Like there's the top 4 in tackles, and then there's Josh Jones. I've never seen
number
him.
5.
Well, I saw him play one game. I think it was Houston against Oklahoma. So I've only seen one game, and that's just because I went on YouTube afterwards and just watched him.
And how did he do?
Just watched his snaps against Oklahoma. From that one game, he looked good.
All right.
I mean, they had him pulling on just about every other play. He should be a fit in a zone scheme because it looked like he was constantly just running across the formation and just constantly on the move. So he should be able to handle, a zone blocking scheme. So he should be a scheme fit. I mean, that is just one game, so I can't really speak to how good he is. But the one game I saw, I liked. So
all right.
If the Vikings take Josh Jones in the first round, I think I'll be okay with it, with what little I know of him, if that makes sense.
It does.
So, and I had never seen a Houston game, but I decided I wanted to at least watch one game's worth of snaps with him because he's been talked about as a possible first rounder. So, kind of like with Chris Lindstrom last year, and I never did watch any of his Boston College tape.
How dare you?
Yeah, it's been 10 years since I saw a Boston College game. It's just these guys at the small schools like Houston. Yeah. I typically will only watch the Power 5 conferences. So.
Well, la-ti-da.
That's what's on TV.
What a college football snob.
It's what's on TV. That's all.
I don't pay attention to the little guy.
That's all. Well, I guess after that, the next guy down on most people's board would probably be Austin Jackson. Although I think I would rather have Ezra Cleveland than Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson out of USC, I don't think I would take him in the second round. If all the other linemen had been taken and he was still their third round and we hadn't taken one yet, then I guess I'd maybe take him third. But in the second round, I think I'd rather take Ezra Cleveland from Boise State. And Ezra Cleveland, he's the prototype zone left tackle.
Nice.
He's the
We need him then.
Well, if you want the most ideal fit for a zone scheme particular, it'd be Ezra Cleveland from Boise State. I mean, that guy would be helpless in a man scheme. but
that's reassuring.
In a zone scheme, it can work. I mean, Ezra Cleveland, watching him at the combine, I would have thought he was a basketball player. I mean, he's like 6'6" and 310.
You said he's a left tackle?
He's left tackle, yeah.
Good. Let's get him because Mike Tice recently said that we don't have a left tackle. He thinks that Reef did an admirable job last year, but that's not what he is. He'd be better served in his career moving forward if he played any other offensive line position but center, and I'm assuming left tackle.
So Mike Tice likes Ezra Cleveland, huh?
No, he's saying Riley Reef did an admirable job.
Oh, okay.
But he shouldn't be left tackle, and he should do anything but center. Well, so we should take a left tackle, maybe move Reef around. Who's our left guard again right now?
Pat Elfline,
Okay.
he needs to be replaced.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Move Reef over. Take a LT in the draft. Bada bing, bada boom.
Well, so I would say if
It's that easy.
we don't take a left tackle in the first round, like Josh Jones or Tristan Wirfs or Andrew Thomas, whoever, then try to get Ezra Cleveland in the second round. At first, I was worried that he might not be strong enough. I mean, he looked pretty tall and thin at the combine and everything, but then he did 30 reps on the bench. So, I mean, I assume he's strong enough then. He'll remind a lot of Viking fans of Brian O'Neill, because a couple years ago we drafted Brian O'Neill. Everyone, including me, everyone, quote unquote, knew that Brian O'Neill was a project, right? Mm-hmm. That he was going to need time and get stronger and everything. And surprise, surprise, he was
wrong.
Really good right away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a chance Ezra Cleveland could be really good right away because we do his own scheme. It would be a case of the scheme maybe helping the player.
There's also talk about Trent Williams too.
I'm out on that.
He's a free agent. We've supposedly expressed interest or the most interest in him.
Well, did the Redskins just cut him? I thought he was still with the Redskins.
Okay, maybe he's most likely to be traded during the draft then.
I don't want to trade for him.
Okay.
Well, for one thing, he wants $20 million a year from what they're saying.
Is he good?
Well, he has been good, but he's 32 years old and he hasn't played in over a year.
Ah, there's the kicker.
Yeah, I mean, when he's been playing, he has been very good.
Gotcha.
But I don't want to trade for him at this point. I'd rather draft a left tackle in the first round or second round.
All right.
Now, if we miss out on all those tackles, like if we don't get a tackle early and we end up maybe having to take like a guard later on, like third round, whatever. One guy I like a lot is Matt Hennessy. He was the center for Temple.
My favorite booze. Hennessy.
Yeah,
now you have my attention.
I kind of thought you might like that name, actually.
Hennessy. I love that name, Hennessy, man.
Yeah, he was the center for Temple, but he did have one game as a start at left guard. So, center guard flexibility.
I'm already picturing the Odin's Den shirt design of a bottle of Hennessy with his jersey on it over at left, whatever he's playing, left guard, center.
If we drafted
Already
him, we would
it.
probably put him at left guard and leave
guard,
Bradbury at center. I mean, he was the center for Temple almost every game he played.
Right.
But he has played guard before, too. And he is also another guy that would be a scheme fit. I thought he looked pretty good at the combine.
Cool.
Like, he was really smooth. See, that's part of why I watch the combine.
Good footwork.
Yeah, I want to see what the kick step looks like. I want to see him shuffling their feet. I want to see...
You got to have that sideways speed almost.
The lateral movement.
Yeah,
I want to see how they carry their weight.
Sideways speed. What a fucking retard I am. It's called lateral movement, A-Train. Get it together, man.
Well, but anyway... I want to see how they carry their weight.
Here,
I want to see what it looks like when they run the 40-yard dash, like all those sorts of things.
You want to see him eat a fucking cheeseburger.
Because a lot of guys will say, well, you can get all the results and times later and you don't have to watch it. You can just read about it. And to an extent, that's true. I suppose if you wanted to just look at times, you just go to the 3-cone drill, and that might give you a pretty good indication of who's a good zone fit, is who has the best 3-cone times. I think Matt Hennessy might have had like a top 5 3-cone time, if I remember right.
Cool. I'm going to be looking out for Mr. Hennessy.
And he's expected, I think, to get drafted, late second round, third round, maybe. But he's a guy I really like a lot.
Cool.
That we maybe could get middle rounds.
Hell yeah.
All
right.
Trying to think of any other. Yeah, if we draft a guard instead. Cesar Ruiz from Michigan's pretty good. We might have to take him early in order to get him. I don't know if we'll end up getting him, because if we draft a guy early, it'd probably be a tackle.
Right. I hope we walk out of this draft with at least, 2, 3 O-linemen?
I would say 2 would
minimum.
be good.
2 minimum.
The thing with O-linemen in this year's draft is if we want a good one, we're going to have to take one early because there isn't as much depth.
Right.
as there is at other spots.
Okay.
If we miss out on one of the top 5 or 6 tackles,
Might as well not even take one.
we might as well,
Damn.
maybe not even take one. And
Well, what if we still got the 3 7th-round picks? Not even just scrape up some scraps at the end there. You know,
I mean, maybe it's worth taking a flyer on someone, but
a flyer.
I can't think of who that would be.
All right then.
Yeah, the offensive line, there are good players at the top.
Right, and then just a big drop off.
Yeah, there's not
All
a
right.
whole lot of depth.
All right. Well, we better get that 1st-round pick then.
Oh, you have to have your first-round pick start right away.
So we can see what
or
they
second
do.
round.
We can see what they do.
Or second round. If we take an O-line second round, that
If we keep
probably
those
could be
2
all right.
first-round picks, wide receiver, O-lineman. Wide receiver, O-lineman. Or vice versa. Or vice versa.
corner O-lineman.
Yeah.
If a stud 3-tech falls to us first round, then maybe a
Sheboygan.
3-tech.
Sheboygan.
But yeah, that's I guess all I can think of for O-line. See, we've covered quarterbacks, we skipped running back, tight end, covered receivers, O-lines. I guess we'd move on to defense then, right?
If that's what you want to do, yeah. You've got the reins here on this boring trash.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll start with D-line. I guess we'll start with edge rushers. I mean, edge rushers kind of the same as O-line, where there's some good ones at the top, but I can't.
I would have
think
said
of
we didn't need any edge rushers, but now with Griffin Weatherly gone,
I think we
bleh.
should draft one.
Blah.
It's hard to say what round we should. I mean, that just depends on BPA, and I mean that I won't know
Blah.
how I feel about that until we actually watch the draft, so we know who's available when. And
Oh, shocking revelation there, Captain Obby.
okay, but I guess if we're looking at first round edge rushers, I mean Chase Young's going to be gone, top 5 overall. We're not going to get him.
All right.
I don't know what the big deal is with Calevon Chasen. I guess he's super athletic, so getting
All
him
right.
for Patterson would work. He didn't do a ton, like as far as production that I remember from the games I saw, but he's widely considered a first-round pick, so everybody else must just know more than I do, which
Yeah,
is very possible.
Probably do, yeah.
Very possible. For a first-round edge guy, I would be looking at Yetur Gross-Matos.
Yeetar?
Yeah, Yetur Gross-Matos is his name.
What a fucking name. Dude.
It's a hyphenated name.
wow.
Hard to say. He's the Penn State guy.
Yeetar.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Daniil Hunter,
Ooh.
like with the super long arms. And
I'd like to clone Daniil. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, Yetur Gross-Matos he's kind of built similar to Daniil Hunter, where he's got the really long arms. And
Let's get 2 hunters on the team. I like it.
I think the NFL.com draft profile described him as having like a power forward's body or something like that. That sounds about
A
right.
basketball reference?
Yeah.
All right.
But it's essentially he's built a lot like Daniil Hunter.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
That
to
makes
me.
more sense to you, I'm sure.
Well, I know what a power forward is and what they look like. Luckily, I used to be kind of a basketball fan, so I knew what you were saying right away.
Yetur Gross-Matos is
It's
a
kind
baller.
of a strange comparison. I don't know why you'd compare a football player to a basketball position, but I see the size
it's
comparison.
body type,
Yeah,
like
okay.
the body frame and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, Yetur Gross-Matos, he is a stud.
All right.
I mean, that guy, he's constantly just tackles for loss, sacks.
Nice.
Every time I watched a Penn State game, well, except for the Gopher game, actually, but just about every time I watched a Penn State game, Gross-Matos is just splash play after splash play.
You see the back of that, the name on that jersey every other camera shot.
Oh, he even wore number 99 in Penn State, just like Daniil Hunter does.
It's destiny.
Well, if we take him in the first round, I would like that pick. I'd be good with it. Like, let's get him and fill out other needs later. Yeah. AJ Epinesa, I don't know if I'd spend a first round pick on him.
Yeah.
The
Don't like
guy
his
from
name.
Iowa.
Ugh.
AJ Epinesa.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Don't like the name?
Nah, no, don't like it.
He was a defensive end for Iowa.
Too many AJs for out of Wisconsin.
I mean, if we get late in the second round to our pick and he's still there, then maybe. I mean, that guy disappeared for stretches, and he didn't test all that well at the combine too. So,
All right.
Yeah, I think he might be a little overrated, but I love Gross Matos.
Gross Matos.
And after that, I mean, there's just maybe some other athletic guys at smaller schools that I don't know about. That see, I know that in the middle rounds we're gonna take an edge rusher I've never heard of.
Oh, every year there's like, who the hell? I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. And you're like, nope, never fucking heard of him. And I'm like, all right then. Oh, there's so many schools. College football is colossal compared to just the fucking 32 teams of the
It's hard to
NFL.
keep track of it all.
It's colossal, man.
So, yeah, if we take an edge rusher middle rounds, after the fact, I'll have to look them up, but I don't know.
Happens every year, man.
You know, this is
every year.
where you go on the Purple Pain forums and you take a look at
You
players.
can't know everybody.
Well, but they do breakdowns of who would fit Spielman's draft tendencies from the past.
Well, yeah.
Like defensive ends that have tested well at the combine and everything.
But how accurate are those predictions? Are they as accurate as the Hammer's predictions? Because you've been reasonably accurate the last couple of years. I wish we had those stats. Maybe I'll get those for later, too, and a little extra content.
The thing is, I've only been on Purple Pain for a year or two, so
True.
I don't have a ton of info to go on that. But, like that guy from Florida, there's a defensive end from Florida that I remember was listed as a perfect fit for what the Vikings do.
Nice.
What was his name? I think it was Jabari Zuniga. Yeah, Jabari Zuniga.
The draft time period is always interesting because it's exciting, and there's a lot of new players coming up, and it's who are we going to pick? But you could talk all day. You could do your mocks all day. You could do analysis all day long, and at the end of the day, it almost doesn't mean a damn thing.
Well,
you can get close. You can make some picks. You could say, "Oh, A-Train, that's wrong." A lot of people pick right. You can predict right. People are predictable. Needs are predictable. Tendencies are predictable. Still, though, at the end of the day, it's like having pocket aces and not knowing what the hell's going to happen at the table in poker. You still don't know,
Best defensive end in the draft this year is Chase Young from Ohio State, but we're not going to get him, so who cares?
All speculate. Yeah, we're probably not going to get him, so who gives a shit? All speculation. All speculation.
We can move on to 3-tech.
All right.
There are some good 3-techs in the draft this year. The best one is Javon Kinlaw, and he's another guy kind of like Wirf, so there might be an outside chance he slides to 22.
Nice.
He missed the combine because he was recovering from knee tendonitis, and I guess they're saying now that he might also have a little bit of a bad hip.
Ugh. What's he, 80?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
But he's just phenomenal player.
Tendonitis and a bad hip? What are you, fucking grandma or what?
Yeah, well, as long as his medicals check out, like if his medicals are okay and it's all just teams worrying for no reason, I mean...
Which can happen.
If Javon Kinlaw's there, you got to take him, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, he played for South Carolina, but he's easily the best 3-tech in this draft.
All right.
And he has size, too. Like, he's quick, good pass rusher, really disruptive.
Do we really need one even with Pierce?
Well, he's the 1-tech.
Oh, my bad.
He's the run stuffer.
My bad.
But,
our 3-tech was...
Shamar Stephan was our starting 3-tech.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's more of a backup 1-tech anyway. I'd much rather like Armon Watts steps up and takes the 3-tech spot, or maybe Hercules. But if for BPA, like if the value's there, we maybe should take a 3-tech in the draft. Javon Kinlaw is well worth a first-round pick.
Okay.
If he's there, we should take him. He's big and strong, but he's really fast too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's good against the run. He's a good pass rusher. Derek Brown from Auburn, I think, is a little overrated. After that, in the second round, there's a number of good ones. Like 3-techs. All these guys are 3-techs I wouldn't mind getting second round. Ross Blacklock from TCU.
Okay.
Neville Gallimore from Oklahoma is a guy I really like.
Okay.
He's a Canadian guy, too, actually.
Oh, don't you say
Yeah, Neville Gallimore from Oklahoma, really good.
Where the wind blows.
Justin Matabuike from Texas A&M. He'd be a good 3-tech to get second round.
All right.
He's another good one. Jordan Elliott from Mizzou.
Nice easy name. Perfect.
Yeah, he's a guy you'd like.
Jordan Elliott.
Easy to
it.
say.
Love it. Not Moody Black.
Yeah, another guy second round would be perfectly fine taking him.
All right.
Yeah, after that, I guess you'd maybe have to go another round or two, like James Lynch from Baylor, maybe. But yeah, there's some good 3-techs in the draft.
All right.
So there we go. Cool.
So we're looking for a 3-tech. And an edge rusher.
I think we will draft a 3-tech and an edge rusher at some point.
All right.
Could be first round, could be middle rounds, maybe later on, who knows.
Okay.
But at some point, I think we will, yeah.
All right.
And I hope we do. Yeah, we can go to linebackers. You know what? Actually, we could probably skip linebackers. I don't know. I mean,
aren't we kind of set at linebacker?
We're pretty well set. We do need to maybe take a linebacker late for special teams because we might lose Kentrell Brothers. That's where another Gopher, Carter Coughlin, might be a good fit.
Son of Mike Coughlin.
No.
Oh.
But Carter Coughlin, he's a linebacker for the Gophers. And I think he's going to get taken 5th round, 6th round-ish.
A lot of Gophers coming out of the draft.
There are some good Gophers this year.
School's moving up in the world.
Yeah, we're getting better. PJ
Popping
Fleck's
colors.
doing a good job.
All right.
But Carter Coughlin, he could be a really good special teams guy.
Okay.
I think out of all the Gophers, he might be one of the most realistic guys we could end up actually getting.
All right.
Because Spielman, he tends to take linebacker late, like, late rounds. He tends to take like an athletic linebacker. Carter Coughlin's a name that definitely springs to mind with that.
I feel like our special teams has struggled a little bit versus the past as well. I feel like we had a top 5 special teams unit there for a few years, and now I feel like it's slouched just a little bit.
Oh, we've lost some guys too. I mean, we're going to lose Kentrell Brothers,
Right.
Sherrills, all those guys.
Curse was a better special teamer than he was
really good
a
gunner.
Safety. Yeah.
Sure.
So we need some special teamers.
Yeah.
I say bring it on. Bring it on.
Absolutely. I mean, otherwise, I guess I would say Malik Harrison. Well, pretty much everyone at Ohio State is really good, but Malik Harrison is a really good linebacker.
You know who I want in the draft this year? Yeah, sure. Give us your breakdown. Anyone from Ohio State. End of draft analysis.
How did Ohio State even lose to Clemson? That's nuts.
Mind bottling. You bottle all your thoughts into your mind.
Well, I think Kenneth Murray is widely regarded as the best linebacker from the guy from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that gave that woman CPR and saved her life, and didn't even tell anyone. And it only became public because some kid from the school newspaper recognized him in the street.
That son of a bitch is driving by.
That's in that ESPN just released that article earlier today, that 50 weird facts about the draft you didn't know.
Yeah.
So I guess Kenneth Murray, that linebacker from Oklahoma, literally saved a woman's life. That's pretty neat.
It's like, hey, I know that guy. I see what you're doing over there, saving lives. He's like, shut up, kid, shut up.
Yeah, he's going to be a first-round pick, and it won't be the Vikings taking him. So
yeah,
it's another, like, who cares sort of thing. But
right.
Yeah, we were talking about linebackers.
Out of
briefly,
sight, out of mind.
There you go. Yep. So moving on, corners. A lot of good corners this year. And, don't you dare make that sleeping noise. The Vikings are going to be drafting at least 2 corners this year, maybe 3.
Ooh, Zimmer must be just doing fucking cartwheels at the ranch.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, we lost Trey Waynes, Mackenzie Alexander.
Yep.
Lost
Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes.
Thank God. But, yep. That's 3 corners fucking gone.
Yeah, I mean, who do we have right now? We have Mike Hughes. We have Chris Boyd.
Yep.
And we have...
Always wears a gold chain. Hope it doesn't get grabbed on the field. But he's actually not horrible. He actually might be an up-and-comer, Boyd.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Yeah, he might be good.
He might shape up. We might mold him a little bit, like Play-Doh.
It's Holton Hill, Chris Boyd, Mike
Hill.
Hughes. I think that's it, right?
if that's it, we're fucked.
Well, the good news is there are a lot of good corners in the draft this year.
Perfect.
So
good news.
We're probably going to draft 3 corners, right? Just to round out the roster even.
Round 3, round 5. Round
maybe
7.
round 1. I mean,
oh shit!
Well,
another
possibly.
Mike Hughes
depends on. Well, maybe it depends on the board, but best corner this year, Jeff Okudah from Ohio State. Not even a question in my mind.
Winfield Jr. was a corner or a wide receiver?
He's a safety.
A safety.
Winfield
okay.
Jr. That's our last corners, then we'll have safeties.
Oh, my, sorry to get ahead of you.
Yeah, you got ahead of me, you. Settle down.
All right.
You and your crazy draft knowledge, you're just talking in circles around me. Stop it. Well, anywho.
Trying to keep my eyes open with clothespins.
Anywho, Jeff Okudah, Ohio State, best corner in the draft. That's it. A lot of people have C.J. Henderson from Florida as the second best guy. God,
There's only room for one CJH on this team.
I'm not
and
so
it's
sure.
Ham.
I mean, Henderson, I don't know if he's the second best corner. I would rather have Cam Dantzler than C.J. Henderson.
Hold me closer, tiny Dantzler.
Yeah. A lot of people will probably call me crazy because of that, but
yeah, you're batshit insane.
Well, Cam Dantzler, he's the corner from Mississippi State we talked about a couple weeks ago, who ran the 4.64 40 time. Like he's a little slower compared to, but he's such a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God, he looks like a first rounder when you watch him play.
You can have technique and not as much speed.
See, that's
or football IQ and not as much technique, or whatever you want to slice it. You can have one variable and not the other tool in your toolkit.
God,
but
Cam
you can develop
Dantzler,
tools.
He's got football IQ in spades.
You can develop the other tools, maybe, hopefully.
I'm excited to maybe get him in the third round because he might not go until the third round if teams are.
Well, we got
enough.
89 and 105. Which one?
About the speed? That's hard to say.
We got 2/3.
Maybe 105. I guess there's a lot of good corners. He might get pushed down.
Yeah.
So
right. I'm just happy there's a lot of corners.
I'm excited about having Dantzler as an outside corner in a Zimmer scheme. That would be awesome.
We need a new Rhodes, man. We need a new shut down Rhodes.
Yeah, another corner I like a lot is Jeff Gladney from TCU. Well, TCU's got some good players. Jeff Gladney, he's a guy. The games I watched, I've only seen a couple of TCU games, but the games I saw, it looked like the other team was avoiding Gladney quite a bit.
All right. Well, that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah.
For him, not for them.
I mean, I had to go back and watch this afterwards. The Baylor TCU game last year, that was a game I wanted to watch, but it was on at the same time as the Gopher Penn State game.
And you prioritize the local boys.
Well, of course, I'm going to watch Gophers and Penn State. It was such a big game at the time, remember? But I really wanted to watch Baylor TCU because I wanted Baylor to take a loss because Baylor was undefeated also. Like, I wanted the Gophers to get in front of Baylor in the polls. So I went after the fact. I went to YouTube and watched I think it's like a 10-minute video. It's just Jeff Gladney, like all of his snaps against Baylor that game. Like it highlights where he is on the field for each play, and then, it's like all his snaps. So you can just watch him.
Yeah.
God, that game, just about every single play, they were either throwing it to the other side of the field, or they were
just on a fucking island.
Yeah, or they were having the guy that Gladney was covering just run deep and then dumping it to the running back underneath, like clearing
because there ain't
Gladney
nothing
out.
doing out there.
It looked like they were avoiding him at all costs.
Well, that's our fucking future Rhodes then, right there.
That was impressive to have a undefeated college team being that scared of a corner.
Jesus.
It makes me think Jeff Gladney, he could end up being
be a fucking top dog.
Something special. Yeah.
Cool.
I think he is projected as like a late first round corner, maybe early second round.
Maybe 25, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 25.
Maybe 25?
Well, for what it's worth, and it's worth a lot actually, but Ben Lieber, he had his ideal Viking first round as Tristan Wirfs, 22, offensive line, and Jeff Gladney, corner at 25.
Oof, I like that motherfucking 1 and 2 right there.
If Ben Lieber likes Jeff Gladney that much, I mean, Jeff Gladney's just a stud.
That is literally our two biggest need as well.
O-line and corner?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I like that 1 and 2 a lot. Benny boy, you're right on target with that one.
Well, if we could get those two guys in the first round, I would be ecstatic.
Yep. But I got the feeling Ricky boy's going to make... We got so many picks, but you think he's going to make more picks? We got 6 that we shouldn't have fucking had with the comps in the Buffalo. We got 6 that we shouldn't have fucking had.
Yeah.
Don't you have enough, Rick?
Well,
I'm going to be kind of fucking pissed if he trades down this year. I hope we get some juicy I want 2 motherfuckers in the first round. I want 2 good motherfuckers in the first round.
It just depends on
need, not fill, need.
It depends on the trade down, though, too.
Well, we already got 3 7s, 2 6s, a 5, a 4, 2 3s. Come on, man.
You might like hearing that a lot of draft analysts think the Vikings are one of the most likely teams to trade up in the first round. Oh, because we have all these picks.
Right.
I mean, if there's a stud, like if we get within 5 spots of the Vikings and there's that one blue chip guy left, Tristan Wirfs, Jerry Jeudy, Javon Kinlaw, whoever, there's a pretty good chance Spielman, with all those extra picks he got, he might trade up just to get that one stud.
Right.
And then, maybe trade
Get
down.
somebody else trading down.
Then maybe trade down from 25 and start, maximizing that second, third round with all these good, corners, receivers, etc.
Right. Yeah.
But the games
All
I
right.
saw, Jeff Gladney, stud.
All right.
Jeff Okudah, stud. Cam Dantzler, stud. There are a couple other corners that I like, that if we got them in the second round, I'd be good with.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Auburn corner, that Noah, I'm blanking on, Igbenogany. That's how you pronounce it. That's a tough name. Yeah, that Auburn corner, Noah Igbenogany.
Oh, you know how I like to short things and make things easy? Eggnog.
Okay. Yeah, if we draft him, we'll nickname him Eggnog. I'm good with that.
Welcome to the team, Eggnog.
He's a corner with Auburn. He was also their returner. He actually returned a kick. He brought a kick return back for a touchdown against the Gophers in the Outback Bowl.
So you're just stewing with rage over there.
Well, at the time I was. But then, now that we're going into the draft, be a Viking.
Yeah, I'll bandwagon real fast.
Hey, man, I hated Chad Greenway when he played for Iowa.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, because he'd
fuck the Gophers over. But then the Vikings drafted him. I've loved him ever since.
You mentioned that. Yep.
So, Noah Igbenogany, maybe he becomes a Viking corner, and I love the guy.
All right. Well, you're doing some sort of business over there.
God damn it, I like the way you do business.
Doing some sort of business.
Oh, one other thing. This made me curious, too, because, Tyler Johnson had a huge game against Auburn in that Outback Bowl, Minnesota-Auburn. So I was really curious about this. I went back to rewatch that game because I wanted to see who he had gotten all those. Yeah, he caught one pass against Igbenogany.
Damn.
So I'm guessing Igbenogany was probably covering Rashad Bateman that whole game, most likely. And Rashad Bateman had, 3 catches for 25 yards?
He was holding
him
down.
He was holding Rashad Bateman down, I think.
Right.
So
another shutdown motherfucker.
Yeah, right. Noah Igbenogany, he's got a lot of potential.
Let us get one of these. Let us get one of these Rhodes Juniors, man. We need another island. We need another shutdown, man.
We do need a corner. There are a lot of good corners.
We need a shutdown.
One corner that's been projected for the first round that I kind of don't want in the first round is Christian Fulton, guy from LSU. He's not a bad player on the field, but he did have that whole drug test thing.
Drugs?
Yes.
Drugs are fun.
Smoke weed every day.
That applies to Christian Fulton. Yeah, he I guess had been worried he would test positive for marijuana, like he was worried he'd get caught. So he tried to send someone else's urine sample in as his own. And
attaboy.
NCAA suspended him for a year. So for that reason, I'm out on him as a first rounder.
Oh,
I don't want him in the first round.
Cue the sad music, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I don't know. Second round, third round, whatever. If he's still there, then maybe. The thing is, we would need to vet him, like character-wise and everything. Like we would need to really vet him. And that's harder for the team to do this year because of all the COVID-19 and
make sure he's not stealing any crab meat and shit.
Yeah. You can put it that way, sure. But it's harder to do this year because you can't meet with them face to face and all that stuff. So
no, you could Zoom them.
I guess
you could Skype them.
It seems like it'd be harder to do to really vet their character. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if teams are actually just being like, we're not meeting with anybody ever. Like, know that for sure?
They are meeting with them on Zoom, yeah.
Oh.
If we do take Christian Fulton, we better make sure the character flags are okay. They better have looked into that if we take them.
Well, I feel like you don't need to actually meet him in person to kind of vet that out. You talk to friends, you talk to family, you talk to the school, you talk to students.
I guess
that
that's
maybe
a fair
didn't.
point.
There's a lot you could try to research without actually.
That's a lot of phone calls to make. Then you can't meet face to face. Remember?
Well, yeah, that's fine. You're doing what you got to do in the times. You pick up the phone. Let your fingers do the walking, as they used to say.
Alrighty. Let's see if I
Hurry
forgot
up.
anyone
God
here.
damn it,
okay,
man.
okay.
We're already at fucking 84 minutes, bro.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Jalen Johnson from Utah is a guy I like, but he had shoulder surgery not too long ago, so maybe there's that medical red flag. Just keep an eye on that. If we took Damon Arnett from Ohio State, the other corner, not Jeff Okuda, but Damon Arnett, if we took the other Ohio State corner, that would probably work out pretty good too.
Okay.
I'm sure the team doesn't want to take Trayvon Diggs from Alabama because of the Stephon Diggs stuff.
I don't know if he would want to come over here. I don't think we'd be opposed to it, but just as long as he actually got disciplined more than his brother, didn't throw as many fits, and actually got spanked as a kid, and actually wanted to play and like the Vikings, I say come on in.
Okay, well, I can't.
If he's going to act like
that.
his brother, I say,
I can't speak to that. We'll move on to safeties. We'll finish up here.
Keep it safe.
Yeah, the last position we go through is safety. It begins and ends with Antoine Winfield Jr.
Ah, yes. If you know what they say, if you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family.
Okay. I'd love to see him in a Viking uniform. I think he's my draft crush this year.
Who wouldn't? He's your new Miles Jack.
Yeah, for this year. Yeah.
But hopefully you can actually fucking draft him.
Yeah,
have you ever had your number one draft prospect?
Well, actually, we did last year.
Drafted?
Garrett Bradbury.
Oh,
last
okay.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, Garrett Bradbury was my draft crush last year.
Okay.
We got him.
All right. All right.
So, yes, sir. But I honestly think Antoine Winfield Jr. will end up being the best safety in this class.
Damn. Well, then he's probably going to go quick.
Well, the thing with that is I don't think most other teams think that, because I think the first safety that's expected to get drafted is Xavier McKinney from Alabama. And he's a pretty good safety. I mean, he really versatile. Like, they blitzed him a lot. They had him covering. He was good in run defense. Like, he's an all-around safety. He's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick, I think I would give Antoine Winfield Jr. a slight edge.
Okay.
But the thing is, Xavier McKinney's a little bigger, a little taller, a little bigger. So, see, I think the 5'9" thing is gonna scare some teams away, and it shouldn't, in my opinion.
Mike Hughes ain't a tall young man.
Yeah, 5'10.5" or whatever.
Our safeties are kind of usually taller than corners.
I don't know. I guess
50,
I'm not
50.
sure on that. The way the
Kinda
Vikings
similar.
tend to draft, the safeties usually are pretty big.
Right.
I mean, Harrison Smith's kind of bigger. We drafted Jaron Kearse. He's 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
So if we were
what's Ant-Man?
Anthony Harris,
Yeah.
Well, we didn't draft him. He was an undrafted free agent.
How big is he? I said.
I don't know
God
offhand.
damn it! Fine. God.
Yeah, you can look that up. Xavier
He's
McKinney.
6'1", dude.
Yeah, he's
Not
bigger
that bigger
guy, I
than
guess.
us, man. He's
Yeah.
not that taller than us.
So if you're looking, I mean, most teams are probably thinking, let's go bigger. So I'm guessing Grant Delpit from LSU and Xavier McKinney from Alabama will probably be the two safeties that get taken first round.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I bet Antoine Winfield Jr. will be the next guy off the board, that third safety. So early second round feels about right for where he'll get drafted.
Well, we don't have an early second round now, do we?
If we trade, we might.
We have a
Because we could end up trading down from 25. If Spielman has a trade down offer and figures, well, there's a lot of good players, let's just trade down, get extra picks.
Right.
I mean, there is a universe where we do end up with Antoine Winfield Jr.
Man, I'd like to live in that universe.
There is a possibility, so let's keep hope.
All right.
Now, there's a safety that's been talked about as like a second-round guy that I've never seen play, Kyle Duggar. Well, he played at a college I've never heard of. What was it
Getting
called?
Duggar with it.
Lenore Rhine, I think was the name of the school. Lenore Rhine. Have you ever heard of that college?
Nope. But that doesn't mean much because I haven't heard of many colleges.
I've never seen him play. I watched a 5-minute highlight reel of him. That's all I've seen. He's also another punt returner. He had some Antoine Winfield Jr.-esque punt returns where he was like breaking tackles and stuff.
Yeah.
He looks like a crazy good athlete.
Nice.
I can't speak to what kind of a player he is as a safety because I've never seen him play. Now,
He could be our new Sherrills.
Maybe. If we drafted Kyle Duggar, I'm guessing there is a chance he'd be our punt returner.
Mm-hmm.
Another safety, this is a guy I actually have seen play at a smaller school. There's a guy named Jeremy Chin.
Okay.
There was a safety with Southern Illinois, the Salukis. And I actually did watch the Southern Illinois NDSU game this past season because they play the Bison, I think, every year.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a guy that stood out to me in a bad way. This is before I didn't know him at the time. I mean, this is before I had ever heard of Jeremy Chin from Southern Illinois. Just watching their game this year, I was just watching this number 2 for Southern Illinois going, what is that guy on? Yeah, because it was noticeable on the field.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't watching for Southern Illinois. I was watching for the Bison. Like, I wanted to see how the QB did and see how Derek Tuska looked, the edge rusher, the defensive end. Because Derek Tuska, he'll probably get drafted in the middle rounds at some point. I wanted to see them. But I just kept seeing this number 2 for Southern Illinois that was always just out of position, just losing contain when there was no reason to. The guy had a total deer in headlights look. Just, I would say anyone that wants to see what it looks like when a safety has no instincts for the position, but is a crazy good athlete. Try to find that Southern Illinois NDSU game because there are plays where he goes right up to make a tackle and the guy just runs right by him like there's a
Or is
scrub.
NDSU just that good that we were throwing it off his game that day?
It looked like he was making mistakes. I mean, there were a couple plays where he just took terrible angles to the guy that had the ball.
Right.
Just let him go to the sideline for no reason.
Right.
There was one play I saw, it was a running play, I think, where the running back had it, and there was like a pile of players, sort of, like he ran into a scrum, and Jeremy Chin kind of ran in there at the same time, and then you just see the running back run right through it, and he's just like, where'd that safety go?
He's got a lot of weaknesses here. Not as instinctive.
Oh, you're looking at his draft profile?
Eye balance needs improvement. Plays through a straw when asked to cover. Losing play development around him.
Oh, yeah.
Football IQ below average at this time.
Oh, that's putting it kindly.
Bait routes pull him out of deep coverage duties. Could struggle in digesting combo routes.
Yeah.
Slow,
I can speak
slow
to
to
all
read
that.
keys and follow the football from the box.
From watching him play, I agree with everything you just said. The thing is,
we'll need to eliminate head ducking and chop down tackler as a chop down tackler.
But here's the thing, though. Like, there were a couple plays where he would let the guy get past him, and then he would catch up to him again,
right?
Like from behind.
Just because he's fast as fuck.
Yeah, he's like really big and fast.
Right.
Like he's a crazy athlete.
Yeah.
If the Vikings draft him,
they'll shape him up to stack real quick.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a challenge for Zimmer.
With Harry and Ant-Man, too, guiding him?
Yeah, if we drafted him, there's a chance he could have like a Hall of Fame career.
Jesus, man.
You know?
All right.
I mean, if most other teams drafted him, I wouldn't like his chances of
wash out and do
making
nothing.
it in the league. But if we drafted him, the Vikings drafted him, I mean, the potential is he might be the most gifted athlete in the whole draft.
I'm bandwagon Chin right now.
Jeremy Chin.
Get them Chin jerseys going, boy.
So
no, it's not an Asian player. It's Jeremy Chin.
I mean, we've said it before. Like, we trust all the defensive players we draft because Zimmer's proven he can coach guys up. Now, this would be probably
he'd be in
most
the best
challenging
case scenario. He'd be in the best case scenario.
So it's like if we don't get a safety early, like
That's
if we
great.
miss out on Antoine Winfield Jr. and everything, If we
You think
take-
this dude's going down late? 7, 6, 7, 5.
Well, that's hard to say. I don't have a feel for it because there might be some other team that sees how big and fast he is. I mean, maybe he does get drafted like 3rd round.
But people don't want a trash heap project. They want somebody who actually has an average football IQ,
Well,
not
if
a
you
below
need-
average football
If you need a
IQ.
starter to play right away, don't
Yeah.
draft Jeremy Chin. Do not draft him if you need a starter right now.
I don't see a lot of teams shopping for a safety project.
Well, if you're like the Vikings and you have Harrison
Two
Smith, Anthony Harris,
all-stars.
but we don't have any backups. 'cause
Right,
we lost
right.
J-Ron Curse. And
Perfect scenario.
then it could
Perfect.
make sense.
Perfect.
So,
All right.
I mean, Jeremy Chin he's going to be a polarizing guy for a lot of teams, I think. 'Cause he's the ultimate, do you go athleticism or football IQ?
All right.
Because he's the guy that's the most, night and day with that difference.
Right.
So-
Just a fucking Dumbo on the field.
well, I don't.
But he
God,
can fucking run. That kid can
God,
run.
I hate speaking ill of people, but
just needs
it's just-
work. He needs work.
he
That's
just needs
all.
work. There you go. He
It's
needs work.
It's the truth though.
he's a guy that
Don't sugarcoat
just-
the truth, man. The truth is the fucking truth.
but
Just
he
say
is
it.
a guy that just watching him play,
Just say it.
not really caring about the other team, and he drew my eye to him
Because
in
he
a
was
negative
so
way.
fucking shitty.
Well,
Colorful
All right, well,
language is used.
so I didn't even look him up after the fact. Like after I saw during
How
the game,
forgetful.
I was just like, well, thank God for that number 2 for Southern Illinois. And I didn't think of him again. I was like, well, that guy ain't getting drafted.
What a fucking
And sure enough, he's
loser.
going to get drafted now. But
Well, you don't know that. Some people go undrafted.
I think he will get drafted just because he's so big and fast.
All right.
But then after the fact, I look him up like, oh, Jeremy Chin. Oh, that's that guy.
I feel like people are way more picky, but yeah.
Okay, well,
If they didn't take Thielen in the fucking draft, why would they take this Bilbo Noggins?
well, the thing with Thielen was he went to Minnesota State Mankato. I mean, he went to a Division III school that hardly anyone ever sees, and
That's true.
I mean, shoot, there's Shane Zylstra, Brandon Zylstra's little brother.
Yeah.
Shane Zylstra was a wide receiver at Mankato also. He's going to be entering the draft this year, and he
Yeah.
probably won't get drafted.
Because nobody
But
looks even
he
at
put
him.
up insane numbers for Mankato. So don't be surprised if the Vikings end up with Shane Zylstra as an
Ooh,
undrafted free
I like
agent
it.
this year.
I like it.
Don't be surprised if it happens.
I won't be now.
So
Because
there
I'm
you
getting
go.
informed by the hammer.
Oh, tip of the cap to Purple Pain for that. Because there was actually someone that posted that on the Purple Pain forums.
Oh, everybody else better go get an info like that like you did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I
PurplePainForums.com.
never would have known about Shane Zylstra without that.
Because you're a bubble boy in a bubble.
Well, it's because I don't see the small schools like that.
That's right.
I mean, I don't think their games are even televised, are they? Mankato?
Yeah, on like local,
doubt it.
On like local Minnesota Channel 6 or whatever.
I don't even know if they're on an
Yeah,
affiliate
you're right.
like that.
You're
But
right. Maybe like on the college website,
Like
a
public
live
access
stream
TV
or
maybe,
something.
or-
Yeah.
Okay,
a
well,
live stream from the college directly or something.
maybe someone on Twitter that
Right.
is in
right.
the area could let us know that.
They're
or
in the
something.
stands and they're periscoping it live, is it? Just holding their phone there. You could do that.
So there we go.
All right. Is that it? Is that all you got?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Ugh. The 97-minute mark.
Well,
My
you wanted
God.
me to bring the pre-draft lumber, you
My
said. I did my
God.
best. See, those are only the opinions of the Hammer.
Yep.
This is
yep,
just guys from
Yep, none are mine.
just guys that I've seen play that stood out to me, just opinions I have. Is this really all this is just the
Correct.
opinions of yours truly.
Correct.
I've been right on some guys and I've been wrong on some other guys, so time will tell, I suppose.
We got 12 picks. It'll be fun to see what we do. Obviously, it's already Monday, 4/20. Ha ha ha.
So first round of the draft,
First round
Thursday night.
Thursday,
7
April
o'clock.
23rd, 7 p.m. Central. Well, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes,
7 Central.
7 Central.
You're coming over to my house.
Probably.
Yes, you are. You're coming over to my house.
We could always go to somebody else's house and watch too. Another Vikings fan.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
Get some Vikings together, shall we?
Well, the thing is, I'm going to be logged into the Purple Pain forums.
That's fine.
during
It's
the
called a
first round.
laptop.
Yeah. Well, okay. I just I mean,
wherever I end up, I'm going to have mine too. So,
okay.
let's
do that.
You can be portable with a laptop.
Yeah, let's
you
do
know?
that together. First round of the draft,
Mobile.
Thursday night, me and you, Purple Pain Forums,
All right.
live draft discussion thread.
We shall.
Watching the draft.
Yes.
Laughing, loving, crying, all of it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
All
Hammer
the
is
crying's-
happy.
All the crying's out of my system. For the
Hammer
most
is
part,
happy.
with all the people we lost.
Let's do it.
Rounds-
Let's get some caribou coffees and stuff.
Well, settle down, bud.
Well,
Rounds-
it's draft time. I can't contain myself.
Let's get some pizza.
Yeah.
Rounds 2 and 3, I ate pizza, will take place Friday, April 24th, 6 p.m., 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And rounds 4 through 7 are Saturday, April 25th, 12 p.m. Eastern, so that's 11 Central. You can watch them on ESPN, ABC, and NFL Network. I don't know in what order or what days. It doesn't say, but it says ESPN, ABC, and NFL Network.
It's simulcast. It's all at 7 o'clock.
Cool. And it's probably just going to be the commissioner by himself in his living room on Skype call or something stupid. This will be so weird, unprecedented,
It'll be
never been
different.
done before. I'm kind of hoping it goes a little quicker. Obviously, they still got TV contracts, sponsors, and time to fill on TV, so it'll probably be roughly the same. We're not going to have audience reactions. We're not going to have crowds gathered, so that'll be kind of weird. It'll probably be it probably won't even be in an empty stadium. It'll probably just be some low-key little thing behind him, like a little press conference for the commissioner, kind of like when we used to cut live to the commissioner.
Yeah.
When he'd
Smoke
have his press
weed every
conferences.
day.
Yeah, talking about, that guy and Hulk Hogan being the highest paid porn star and stuff. Yeah. It'll be interesting. Goodell won't, you know what I'm going to miss? Goodell won't get booed live in person by the entire crowd.
Yeah, I'll
that
miss
was one of
that
my
too.
favorite parts. My favorite parts. I swear I can talk tonight. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, I did most of the talking this episode.
Yeah, and what little I did, I stumbled every time. All right, so yeah, that's the draft guide and how to watch it. That's Hammer's rundown. I hope you enjoyed his nasally drone and what entertainment we can provide. Thank you for listening. Check us out online, odinsandpodcast.com. All your favorite podcast aggregators, the BoobTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got the Patreon up and going. We should do some cool content on there. Yeah, maybe we can do the play-by-play for an old Vikings game or something. That would be
That
kinda
is an
fun.
interesting thought.
It is an interesting thought. Have a good rest of your week. Watch the draft. We'll obviously come to you and give you our breakdown afterwards as well, like every year. Any final words? Hammer.
Hammer out.
All right. Stay safe, everybody, in this weird time. Donnie gave you some Donnie dollars in your bank account. So yeah, I hope you got that. Hope you're staying well. Hope you're working from home. Enjoy the rest of your April 20th week. God, it's almost May already. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Odin's Den. Be sure to follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Get all of the latest at odinsdenpodcast.com. SKOL!
And then you'll get to see what the Vikings do
Hey, you
like
don't
you
need-
want to.